Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily Extra. It's an extra show that we're doing today just to talk about the news that's been everywhere for the past few hours concerning Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, this is, if it's true, is big news out there today, and that is that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is on the verge of signing a brand new deal at Arsenal, and that is what we all want to hear. But that is what we are hearing tonight, that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is on the verge of signing a new deal at Arsenal. I wanted to get your guys' opinion to find out how you're feeling about it. So jump into the comments. Tell us how you're feeling about it, if it's true, if it does happen. For me, it would be such an important signing. The talk is that Aubameyang has been offered a new 3-year deal by Arsenal, which will be worth about £250,000 a week, which was going to be a £50,000 rise on his current deal, which is around about £200,000 a week. But that will also include a lot of add-ons with bonuses attached. We don't have the details of that. They probably won't disclose that, but that'll probably be things like the amount of goals you score per season, etc., etc. And also, he has apparently been given assurances by the club that they do have money to spend, which is very interesting considering yesterday they were laying a load of people off. They do have money to spend on transfer targets. I mean, I think this has been one of the sticking points. Aubameyang wants to know what Arsenal are going to do. What is the ambition of the club? Are they aiming to make big signings? Who are they bringing in? We've heard the rumours about Willian. We've heard the rumours about Gabriel. There's been another hot rumour. And Aubameyang's wanting to know, what are you going to do to back the manager so that we can be up there and challenge him? And apparently they have given him those assurances, and he is now willing to sign a new deal. When that new deal is going to happen, we're going to have to wait and see. But the talk is that it's imminent. Could be within a couple of days that deal is done. And I was talking to you guys in my show on Monday and sort of kind of giving you guys a couple of conspiracy type theories that are out there. One of the ones that I heard was by a guy who works in the club shop, who said to me that when a new kit comes out, normally they do a lot of kits that are pre-printed with the name of the player on the back. If it's a player that's looking like he might go, they hold back on it. They won't print those shirts. They will only print on demand. So if somebody comes in and says Aubameyang shirt, they'll be like, okay, yeah, we can do that for you. But they won't do the pre-printed one. They don't really want to push it out there, that name, in case people then get upset and turn around and say, well, listen, how comes, you made us print these shirts and nothing happened. He said they've been printing Aubameyang shirts, no problem, and they've been told not to hold back on it. So that was a good sign. There was talk that there was some filming going on Monday with Ian Wright down by the Thierry Henry statue. Incidentally, of course, also wears the number 14. Is that significant? What were they filming down there? Was that something to do with Aubameyang, or was that just something to do with the launch of the second and third kits that's going to be coming out? There's been that. And of course, there's been lots of rumors going around that he is going to sign. You saw that video the other day he did with Troops, where he was talking to Troops and, after the FA Cup final. Would somebody put themselves out there like that if they're not going to sign? There's that. But then we have seen him before. We've seen before that people have not signed when we thought they were going to. But this one is certainly looking very, very promising that Aubameyang is about to sign a new deal. And, that would make us happy. I mean, look at this guy. Look at all the love arts, right? He would like to get that deal done. So how are you guys feeling about that? For me, it would be very significant. I've said it all along. The most important signing to make this summer is Aubameyang. And then it sets everything off in a great tone. We've just won the FA Cup, finished the season on a high. Sign Aubameyang and then start going after some targets and can really strengthen this team, where we can really give it a go next season and really back this manager who's done such a good job this season. So how are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling about that if this news turns out to be true? Ismail is saying no one can replace him right now. I agree with you 100%. How much would it cost to replace Aubameyang right now? You're talking about at least 50 million minimum to replace him. So, and I know he's 31, and we've spoken about this a lot of times. He's 31, but he don't play like a 31-year-old. He's still doing those backflips. He's still lightning quick. You saw that in the final, how he burnt Aspilicueta. You know, he's still got it. He has still got it. So I would just love to see this guy sign. Inni with a super chat here says, epic, Aubameyang, Willian, and then we move forward with others. How many players do you think we need this window, Robbie? Shout out from Minnesota. Big up Inni there in Minnesota. I personally think, you know, obviously we've got to get Aubameyang done. But then I think we're right as forwards. If we get Willian, I'd like to see Coutinho. There's strong talk about this guy, Gabriel. And by the way, make sure you tune into and watch us tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. We're doing a Transfer Daily live tomorrow morning, and we've got Adam from Get French News on the show, and he's going to be giving us a complete rundown on Gabriel and a couple of the other targets that we've been linked with over there in France. Every time we get him on, he gives a brilliant insight into players, but I can tell you he's a big fan of Gabriel's. So if you want to find out more about Gabriel, tomorrow morning's show, you've got to get involved with that. That's going to be live at 10 o'clock. But, yeah, I think, you know, Gabriel or whoever is going to be centre back, and if you could get a Thomas Partey as well, that's a great window. Skullfuggery says, with another super chat, says, yes, Don Robbie, ABBA in the bag. When's the Reddit video coming? I'm going to be doing that very soon. And he says, be unreal if you can check my Thai lockdown tribute out. It's on there somewhere. I'm going to have to look out for that. Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. And Darius with another super chat says, who has been our best player since Henry out of Aubameyang, Sanchez, and RVP? In which order? For me, Abba, Alexis, and RVP. You can't argue with that, because I think Aubameyang's played in a worse team than those two, but yet he scored more goals. So he's been absolutely brilliant. Josh Gilligan with a super chat. He says, don't believe anything. Here I am. Thank you, Josh. He's bringing us right back down, room to earth. He says, don't believe anything unless it's on Arsenal's website. We get our hopes up too much being Arsenal fans. But I think there is something in this. I was chatting also today to an agent. There is something in this. Wayne says, big up yourself, Robbie. Another super chat. He says, proud to be Jamaican. Happy Jamaican Independence Day. Yeah, big up, boop, boop. It is Jamaican Independence Day today. He says, too much to do about working with super agents. How many top players did we miss out on because Wenger refused to work with these agents? Enough, he says. We did, and it's one thing that we're getting criticised for at the moment, that we're working with these super agents, and these super agents, they take a lot of money in fees. But then these super agents have got some of the super players. So you've got to deal with them. You can't not deal with them. Cameron with a super chat says, we need Aubameyang to sign. We will show our intent to potential other signings like Partey. No way to replace him. Again, Cameron, great point. Great point that if you going to sign a Partey and you can turn around and say, well, Aubameyang plays for us. He signed a new deal. He believes in this. That could convince somebody like that to sign. AG Videos, Gunpath with a super chat. Thank you very much for that. He didn't leave a comment. And a super chat here from Stilo. He says, he's our striker. Thanks to Troops for building the rapport with him. Big up yourself for creating this platform for all Gooners. Aubameyang is the GOAT. And I thought that was very significant the other day when, after the FA Cup, he came on to Troops' Instagram Live. Remember, Troops never asked him to come on. He just jumped in. And I really do think, forget even the Troops thing for a moment, I really do think that Aubameyang has a brilliant rapport with the fans. He really does. The fans love him. He loves the fans. He loves this club. If he stays, if we get this one done, it would be brilliant. I will, says with a super chat, he says, should we be worried about Partey? Listen, Partey is not going to be an easy deal to get done. They're going to want that release clause. They're going to want that 40-odd million, or they're going to want close to it. And it all depends how, if Atletico do really, really well in the Champions League, which they're still in, that might convince him to stay. And there might be other clubs as well that come in and say, well, come to us. So that is not a straightforward deal to do. From what I understand, he's Arsenal's #1 target for this summer. That's the one that they're keeping back all the cash for. If they can make that happen, that would be a great bit of business, because I think he would bring a lot of steel to our team. Mustafa with another super chat says, big up Robbie, putting in the work. How's the progress with agent Troops? Is Aubameyang signing a new contract? Abamawa? Again, as I said, Matt Law from the Telegraph, he's the one who's gone big with this today, reporting that a deal is going to get done. A deal is imminent, and it would be brilliant. Anish saying, Robbie, where's the Martinez situation heading? It will be heartbreaking if he leaves us. Again, it's a great problem to have, but it's a problem. The guy's been filling in for Leno, and he's been absolutely brilliant. We've seen it. All the football clubs in the Premier League would have seen it, and they're interested. And that guy's too good to play as a number 2. It's going to be hard to keep hold of him. The one thing will be, if he does go, it will be a good fee, but we really want to keep hold of him. Wayne Sage says, saw that Ainsley Maitland-Niles could leave despite the FA Cup performance. How true is that? I think I'm torn. I really do not want, I've said it already, Ainsley Maitland-Niles for me put in 2 brilliant and mature performances for Arsenal in the semi-final and final. And I think he's had a good season as well in general, but he just showed a maturity. He was entrusted with a job and he carried it out to the T, and he was brilliant. Even when I watched back the final the other day, he put a cross in right at the start of the game. Aubameyang should really have scored from that. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has to stay at Arsenal. I'd be really disappointed if he was to go. I think, and he knows he's come through the system, and I think he's going to develop into being a really top player. So, no, we cannot afford to let him go. Matthew with another super chat. He says, if we don't get a Coutinho and just Willian, we have to respect Willian. He's a top quality player, and he could play the attacking midfield role. Much love. That is true, but I'd like to get both. I really would like to get both. I mean, I think Coutinho, for me, that would be more my priority, to be honest. But it does look like the Willian thing is looking like a deal that could get done. Owen Coyle says, with the super chat, he says, looking at Chelsea buying Kepa for 70 million makes me think how much we could get for Martinez if he decides to go for a guaranteed first-team football. Well, I don't think we'd get 70 million, not in this current market, but certainly, what would he be worth if he went right now? You've all seen him. It's not even a fluke, because in the Europa League he's been solid, in the FA Cup he's been solid. When have you seen him make a bad error or something like that? He's quality. Not a 70 million. I don't think, I think Kepa, he's one of those, came with a mega reputation. But certainly, if I was Arsenal, I'd be looking for like 30 million. 30 million at least for Martinez. Unknown with a super chat says, why aren't we going for Thiago? 30 million for one of the best midfielders in the world. Imagine a trio of Partey, Thiago, and Ceballos. I think the thing with Thiago is that he's going to want Champions League football. That's one of the things that is going to make us miss out on those type of players. He's got a lot of clubs queuing up. They've all got Champions League football. We don't. I don't think we'd get him. AG Videos says, with a super chat, he says, yo, Robbie, how many years do you think it will take us to compete for major trophies? I think we just need to sort out the defence. I still think I don't think we'll challenge next season, even if we do get in some really top quality players. It's still a rebuilding process. I still think we're a bit off some of those really, really top teams like your Liverpools and Man City. We're still off those at the moment. But maybe in 2 years' time, we could be challenging. But we've got to take the steps towards getting there. And keeping Aubameyang is essential. Skullfuggery with a super chat. He says, tipped you off on the English wonder kid in France yesterday, Mike Oxmill's Grim. Have you had a look yet? No, I haven't actually. I haven't. I'm definitely going to go and check that out. Actually, I'll ask, as I said, tomorrow morning, please make sure you watch the show. We've got Adam from Get French Football. He's brilliant. We've had him on quite a few times before. His knowledge of French football, that's what they do. They watch French football week in, week out, and he will be able to tell us all about Gabriel and some of those other targets that are also looking at. Malang Sarr, I'm going to ask him about Malang Sarr as well, and some of those other targets over there, and maybe some targets over there that we, could possibly be an answer. I mean, there's one, Ibrahim Diallo, who a lot of people are saying if we don't get Partey, we might move for him. I'm going to ask about him as well. So make sure you tune in tomorrow as well. And you'll have great knowledge on Aubameyang as well. Youssef A says, Robbie, do you think Chelsea going to get Havertz, goalkeeper and defenders? I don't care about Chelsea. If they get Havertz, he's a quality player. He is a top quality player. Chelsea are going to be dangerous this season, next season, because they really are, going to be going hard in the transfer market. But we just got to worry about ourselves right now. A super chat coming in from It's 10. He says, not sure if you saw my donation last time, but I really think that Laurent Koscielny was a big miss this season. Not a lot of people mentioning it. Could have been, it could have been 2-4. I don't quite understand it in that, but Laurent Koscielny, a big miss? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure, because even the previous season, he had so many injuries. And again, he's another guy. He's a good player, but prone to mistakes. So I don't think it was just that. I just think that we needed to have got in some better defenders. Egerton says, happy independence, bro. Happy Jamaican independence going out to you. UK is saying Willian is here. Oh, sorry. Andrew says, Robbie, thoughts on Ginter? He could be a class signing. He had a wonderful season at Gladbach. Would be a good signing. Who did I see him linked with today? I think it was it Chelsea? Matthias Ginter. He was. We've been looking for him for a long time. You know that. We've been looking at him from the days when Wenger was here, and we never actually moved for him. But he is a very good player. Keenan says, would you say Gabby deserves number one? Right now, how I look at it is the guy who's in possession of that number one shirt as goalkeeper, if he's playing really, really, really well, he's number one. He has to start, So that's what I think. I think he has to start. But, and they battle it out to see who should get that place. One here from Arsenal News TV says, Robbie, you and your team are such an inspiration. I've started my own channel because of you guys. Oh, good luck with your channel, mate. Respect due to you. Akiash says we should build a team around Aubameyang, and I'm 100% sure he's staying. This guy loves it here. Again, he's such a hero at Arsenal, especially after his exploits in the FA Cup. The fans love him. The staff love him at Arsenal. The manager loves him. He's got to stay. Holden says, Robbie, should Arsenal go after Zaha with this new £30 million price tag? I don't think so. I think because money's the situation with the money, I just don't think we need to go after him right now. I think that boat sailed. We've got Pepe. Let's keep faith in Pepe and Saka and those guys. John says, Robbie, if we can get Partey, then why not go for Kante. Out of contention with Frank at Chelsea and slightly older, but he's proven an excellent midfielder. Kante as well. There are rumours that they are going to be willing to sell him. Does look like if he does go, he'd probably end up at PSG. Krishnan with another super chat. He says, how will Arteta go with the formation next season? 3-4-3 or 4-3-3 or 3-5-2? This will be crucial based on the signings we make. What do you think, Don Rob? I think his preferred formation is 4-3-3. That's what I really think he would like to play. He knows he can't play that at the moment because we just don't have the personnel to play that at the moment. But I think he's trying to build a team with that personnel, so that will be the type of formation that he has. Abdul Malik says, what about Grealish, Rob? Quality player. Quality player. I really, really like him, but I don't think, well, if they do sell him, it's going to be a huge amount of money. Villa did stay up. He's a very important player for them. I just think that's going to be too expensive for it to get done. Hashir says, I believe we need to give Smith Rowe a chance in the number 10 role. Thoughts on Smith Rowe? I've said it many a times. I really like Smith Rowe. I think he's a really, really good player. And I hope he does get his chance next season. Joseph says, what do you think about Ox's progress at Liverpool? Did he make the right move? What do you think about Keita instead of Coutinho? Well, Ox definitely made the right move. You know, I mean, he's won the Champions League and he's won the league. You can't argue with that. You know, he made the right move. Simple as. Not going to hate on that, to be fair. But we've just got to make it so that players want to stay here now. Not that, like with Ox, where he looked at it and said, you know what? Arsenal like it here. Fans like me. But you know what? When I'm really looking at it, this team ain't going to win nothing right now. I'm going Liverpool. We want it that players are going to stay here, work with a project and try and build something here. Ashke with a super chat, he said, should Arsenal be patient with Lucas Torreira or let him go? Good player, according to me, just needs to find his feet. What do you think? I hope we are patient with Torreira. I like Torreira, but he's got to deliver. I think if he does stay next season, he has to deliver. Time's running out for Torreira if he doesn't. Unknown says, why aren't we going for Thiago? Only 30 million for one of the best midfielders in the world. Oh, I think I've done that one already. Sorry, I did do that one already. Ethan says, what about Milan Skriniar of Inter Milan? Great centre-back, 24 years old, really solid defender. Lots of big clubs chasing him. He's at Inter, he's at a big club. I think to prize him away would be very, very expensive. And I just don't think that's, with this whole COVID-19 thing, you know, we're laying off people and that's not a realistic. I just don't think that's realistic at this moment in time. Kunjan says, apparently Willian was a plan B if Aubameyang didn't sign, yet we're still signing Willian. We'd rather take Coutinho, not Willian. Also, any leads if we're getting Gabriel or Paul Torres. There's strong rumours about Gabriel as well. That, you know, the rumours is that he's decided to join Arsenal instead of going to Manchester United. Basically, I'm going to ask Adam about that tomorrow morning. Make sure you tune in. Shannon says, what about Christopher Julian, centre-back for Celtic? He's that really tall one, isn't he? He's a good player, but haven't really seen any links linking us to him in recent months. Jake says, Robbie, thoughts on Isco from Real? I always loved Isco, but has that sailed now as well? I'm not sure of his age. Sometimes flatter to deceive as well, Isco. I don't know if it's because he doesn't play regularly enough for them, or I really don't know. But he's I used to love him as a player and would have loved to have seen Arsenal sign him, but they should have done it a few years ago. And probably now we need to be looking ahead. James Eldridge says, what does it mean for Martinelli? Because I think he's a great player. We need to pay everyone. We need to pay everyone for sure. Martinelli will get his, remember he's out injured now, and he's going to be out injured until I think it's at least October, November. So, but Martinelli is still young. We signed him to a long-term deal. He will get his chance. He will get his chance, but we got to have a good squad. We definitely have to have a good squad. This guy says, Big Robbie, what do you think about Gabriel and Saliba defense if it happens next season? Again, I was talking to Adam about that today from Get French. He's got some interesting thoughts on that. I'm going to say it to you. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, you jump in because you're going to hear what Adam's got to say about that. He's been watching Gabriel now for the past few seasons. He was watching Saliba as well all last season, and he's got some thoughts on whether those two can team up. Gio says, hey, Robbie, what are your thoughts on Ben Godfrey from Norwich? AC Milan are linked with him. Do you think he will settle in Italy if he was bought? He's a very good player, he is, Ben Godfrey. Very underrated. Of course, he was in that Norwich team that went down. And, there are a lot of clubs, not just Inter Milan, AC Milan, lots of clubs interested in Ben Godfrey, but I think he is a good player. Eraser says, I think either Martinez or Leno should be rested every now and again, since both earn the number one spot. So no wait until one is injured, which can take years. We know we have two world-class keepers. Well, it don't really work like that with keepers. When you've got a keeper that's in and he's doing well, you don't really want to take him out. You want to keep him in there. So, yeah, I don't know about that. It will probably work the same way like how it's been working, which will be one will do the league and one will do the cup competitions. But as I said, Martinez, he might not want to do that no more. He's tasted playing first-team football and he's risen to the occasion. He really has. And how do you leave him out? Rob AFC is still not happy, though. He says, Kroenke is actually a parasite. Don't care one bit about him, only to fill his pockets. The fact he's worth $8 billion and can't pay more for the club shows that he won't improve things won't improve till he's out. Of course, he's been getting a lot of stick for, the laying off of 55 people. Non-playing staff. He's been getting lots of stick about that. Charlie Millen says, Robbie, thoughts on loaning Willock out? I think we'll see two new mids join. Smith Rowe is coming back, and I think he's miles ahead of Joe, and I think Guendouzi is the only one on the way out. I think Guendouzi is definitely on his way out. But I like Willock, and I think we should keep Willock. I really do. Captain Kid was Super Chat. Captain Kid 220 says, unpopular opinion. If for some reason Aubameyang does not sign the thing, we need to keep him for the season and let him go on a free. His goals for next season alone are worth more than 30 to 50 million. You got a great point there. I've sort of said that before as well. But would we be able to hold him against his will? Will's Army, he says with a super chat, Robbie, do you think Lacazette needs to change his gameplay next season, or should he continue to be that hold-up player? Well, he's the best hold-up player we've got, but he needs to start scoring more goals. Camille Ahmed, super chat, he says, I'm gassed about the Aubameyang contract, but why are we letting Balogun go? I mean, why can't he be promoted to the first team? If we let him go, we'll definitely regret it in years to come. We need to keep hold of our youth. From what I understand, Arsenal want to keep hold of Balogun, but he wants to play week in, week out. And if you've got Aubameyang there and you've got all these guys in front of him, it's difficult. He wants to play regular first-team football. I would love to see Arsenal keep him. We want to keep our best young players. But apparently the talk is that if he doesn't get those assurances, he wants to go. And he's only got a year on his contract. Therefore, Arsenal need to try and get some money in for him. Adam says, Robbie, I know you rate Aaron Moy. What about him at Arsenal? I'm an Aussie gooner, by the way. He's a good player, Aaron Moy. I'm not sure if that's what we need at Arsenal, but he is a good player. But I wouldn't say he's an Arsenal player. Busy Music with a super chat. He says, what about Tyrone Mings at Villa? Commanding English centre-half with leadership qualities. I like Tyrone Mings. Nice guy as well. Met him before. Well, not meet him. He was over in Dubai. Cool guy. Yeah, he's a good player. Very underrated. England international. I think, again, would be a good player at Arsenal. Does have those leadership qualities. I wouldn't be against that, but I think that'd be a lot of money. Again, that's why I think Arsenal are looking at guys like Gabriel, because if you try to get a Tyrone Mings, English international, leadership quality, still quite young, they're going to want... I mean, what did Nathan Ake yesterday, what did he go for? Was it 45 million Nathan Ake went for, right? I know he's not English, but you're buying him from an English team, and that's Bournemouth who've gone down. So any player like that, Tyrone Mings is, Villa going to be looking at that and say, well, we want 45 as well, or 40 to 45. Whereas this Gabriel guy, you could get him for like 25 to 27 million. So that's why I think Arsenal will probably go abroad for that target. Otinel Samuel says, Super Chat, he says, if Arteta doesn't give Emi the number one start, sets a bad precedent, as it would demotivate the squad players to improve their game. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, first, let's not make it Emi. Listen, it's going to be interesting to see who gets that number one spot. Really is going to be interesting to see who gets that number one spot in goal. Don't discount Leno. He was brilliant for us this season. We can't forget what he's done as well. So, but it's going to be interesting to see. Trovic says, come on, sell Nketiah and keep Balogun. Let's be honest, Nketiah is overrated. I don't think we've seen enough of Nketiah yet. So I was saying on Curtis's show yesterday that I'd possibly send him on loan to make him get regular football. And that, I reckon that could happen if Willian's coming in. That might limit his game time again. But yeah, interesting. Akash says, hey, Robbie, thoughts on West Brom's 18-year-old left-footed centre-back, Pat Keys? He's a quality player. He's only 1 year left. We should definitely go for him. Don't know enough about him, I'm afraid. And I'm going to get a couple more in. Because I'm saving it for tomorrow morning. There's a lot of people coming asking about Gabriel. You'll be able to find out about him tomorrow. Babang says, Koulibaly. I agree with you, man. He's quality, but how much would he cost? We've got no chance. Gunner for Life says, hey, Robbie, if we do get Willian, would you want to see Pepe play as a CAM or him on the right? Again, that is something that I wouldn't mind seeing how Pepe would get on in that position. I think he could be top quality in that position. Trent Singh with a super chat says, Robbie, thoughts on Thiago from Bayern? He's available for 30 million. He wants a new challenge, world-class baller. Well, I've said already, the only thing is we don't have Champions League football. Good player. I think he's about 29 now. That's the only thing going against him as well. Although I'm contradicting, you could say, because when it comes to Aubameyang, I'm saying 31, but that's because I've seen what Aubameyang can do week in, week out, and he's not slowing up. Henry Harris says, Robbie, what are your thoughts on super agents at Arsenal after sacking of Kegiga? That's the obviously the Chiefs, the scout that they made redundant yesterday. They have more power than ever and are lying in their own pockets. Those are things of rumours, by the way. A scout, let's remember, a scout doesn't buy players. A scout tells the people who are going to buy the players about a player, right? So it'd be like, oh, have you seen this guy? Arsenal are always going to have scouts. So I don't think the fact that they're dealing with a lot of these super agents now is going to diminish the responsibility of scouts, because, if you can find a gem, but I just think it was a really sad thing to see 55 people lose their jobs like that, especially when you've got an owner that's worth 8 billion. I get it. It's business. There's nothing for some of these guys to do at the moment. I mean, I said it yesterday. If you've got a steward, for instance, and there's no games, there's no work for him. I understand that, but would have been nice to maybe see Stan Kroenke come out and say, right, I'm going to cover everybody till Christmas, or at least, or something like that. I think would have been nice, but, we're living in a tough time with this whole coronavirus thing at the moment. Krishnan says, super chat, he says, do you think Kroenke will sell his entire stake to some billionaire during this pandemic. We need a more ambitious and vocal owner. He's made no signs of looking like he's going to sell anything at the moment. So the answer I have to say to that looks like no. I don't think he's going to sell. You know, I'd love to see him sell to some of those Saudi Arabian people who are going to buy up Newcastle. Trent Singh says, Robbie, any chance of getting Fabrizio Romano on for a chat? We could try and hook that up. Would be great to hear Arsenal news. And as I said, tomorrow we've got Adam from Get French News on, who again is brilliant on transfer rumours, but also brilliant on giving an insight into players that are being linked to over there in France. So it's going to be really good to get him on. Listen, we've come to the end of the show today. Thank you to the guys from U2B for sponsoring the show. Remember, here's another one of their T-shirts. The link is in the description. If you're interested in getting any of their Arsenal-inspired T-shirts, they make some great stuff. Thank you to those guys. Please do not forget, tomorrow morning on our show, we've got Adam from Get French News. He's going to be telling us about some of the players that we've been linked to over in France. And he's going to be really giving us a proper rundown on Gabriel. This guy that we've been linked to, if we sign him, what is he going to be like? Will he be perfect for us? Or we'll be able to find out. But the big news today, of course, is that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, if reports are to be believed, is imminent that he might sign for Arsenal. Well, when I say sign for Arsenal, he's already an Arsenal player, but sign a new deal. New 3-year contract worth 250 grand a week with bonuses and add-ons if he hits certain targets. And we've been told that he's been given assurances by the Arsenal board that Arsenal will be buying certain players this summer to strengthen the team and to push on to start making a proper challenge on the league. All of that is great news, but we need it to happen. But it's looking very positive at the moment, and that's great. We just want to keep the positivity going. So thanks for watching the show. And as I said, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Transfer Daily Live. Adam from Get French News going to be giving us a rundown on some of those targets over there in France. But let's hope we get this deal done, signed and delivered. If we do that, it's so positive.